Breaking news coming in. K Kavitha, daughter of Telangana Chief Minister, has been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate to appear before them on 10th of March in the excise policy scam case. So ED puts out summons for K Kavitha. ED heat on BRS Neta K Kavitha. In fact, we were getting you the entire alleged link of Kavitha's frontman and businessman Arun Pillai in the Delhi liquor scam. We've been breaking that story as well. Now the latest coming in that there is Enforcement Directorate heat on Kavitha, who is the daughter of Telangana Chief Minister, been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate to appear on the 10th of March in the excise policy alleged scam. The ED had also named Kavitha in the charge sheet, accusing her of holding 65% stake in Indo Spirits, a liquor company. In fact, she was even last year questioned by the probe agency. Munish Pandey is now joining us for the latest. Munish, the latest coming in is that K Kavitha, daughter of Telangana Chief Minister, had been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. If you could walk our viewers through all the allegations and the expected line of questioning as far as K Kavitha is concerned, given the fact that you had Kavitha's frontman and businessman Arun Pillai both have a link that ED is trying to establish.
As K Kavitha is concerned, she has been under scanner of the Central Bureau of Investigation and the Enforcement Directorate in connection with this case. Now, as far as this summon is concerned, what the sources have told India Today that K Kavitha has been called to the national capital on March 10 to make sure that she is confronted with Arun Ramachandra Pillai. As you already mentioned that her alleged close associate, a person who was working as a front for K Kavitha allegedly, that person has been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate, and ED wants to confront Arun Ramachandra Pillai with K Kavitha, and that is why she has been called by the Enforcement Directorate on March 10 in the national capital. Now, why it becomes very interesting, because as far as K Kavitha is concerned, even her role is under scanner of the Central Bureau of Investigation and the Enforcement Directorate. ED in the large charge sheet already mentioned that K Kavitha is a person who has destroyed and used multiple phones, as far as the evidence are concerned. Apart from that, also it is interesting to point out that K Kavitha, according to Enforcement Directorate, was also involved in the bribe kickbacks of rupees 100 crore which was paid by South Group. So as of now, these are allegations. K Kavitha has time and again denied that these allegations are baseless. It is nothing but political vendetta. But as far as the ED and CBI is concerned, they are claiming that they have some evidence based on which K Kavitha is under scanner. So
Is she also, Munish, likely to face arrest?
Chatty, at this point of time, we can only say that she is under scanner of the Enforcement Directorate. Yesterday, India Today already mentioned this part during the reporting that K Kavitha will be called by the Enforcement Directorate very soon. So far, ED has, in the charge sheet, mentioned that K Kavitha had an active role during this excise policy scam, and two people, including Arun Ramachandra Pillai, were used as a front for K Kavitha. So certainly, the question is going to be important for K Kavitha, and whether she will be arrested or not. Remember, BJP has been saying that she will be arrested, but even ED and CBI say that they have enough evidence against K Kavitha.
So who all have been grilled so far? Manish Sisodia, Kavitha has been grilled in the past, if I'm not mistaken. Samir Mahindru, Vijay Nair, Abhishek Boinpalli. Who are the other players?
So far, 11 people have been arrested, Chatty, and statements of more than 200 people have been recorded by the Enforcement Directorate and Central Bureau of Investigation. As far as the big names are concerned, remember Manish Sisodia, one of the biggest names, the former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister. He was grilled and arrested by the Central Bureau of Investigation. He has been questioned by the Enforcement Directorate yesterday, and there is a high possibility that in next 1 or 2 days he will be arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. As far as the second big political face is concerned, the person is K Kavitha. Central Bureau of Investigation, as you mentioned, recorded her statement earlier, but as far as the ED is concerned, she has been called for the first time on March 10. Now, it will be up to the Enforcement Directorate that during confrontation, if they think that they have enough evidence for custodial interrogation, they are within their right to do that. But so far, sources have indicated that it will be only the confrontation with Arun Ramachandra Pillai, because during the investigation, there are some WhatsApp chats and money trail linking Arun Ramchand Pillai with K Kavitha. So this confrontation, according to ED, is very important. That is why she has called for questioning.
And who is this alleged quote-unquote South group that has allegedly given 100 crore rupees kickback to the Aam Aadmi Party as well? Because we're talking about the same case here. What are your sources telling you?
So the South group, according to Enforcement Directorate and the Central Bureau of Investigation, comprises of multiple people, but there are 4 important players. These players involved people who were close to K Kavitha, that is Abhishek Boinpalli, Arun Ramchand Pillai. Apart from that, there is one parliamentarian from Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh. He was also part of the South group. So most of the politicians and businessmen from Hyderabad were given this name of South group. Now this South group paid a kickback of rupees 100 crore in advance in exchange of getting a favorable excise policy. Now as far as the CBI charge sheet is concerned and ED charge sheet is concerned, both have mentioned that these people were contacted by Vijay Nair. They were in touch with Vijay Nair, and overall purpose for these people was to do business under the new excise policy. And before the policy was even implemented by the Aam Aadmi Party in the national capital, a bribe of rupees 100 crore was paid to Vijay Nair by this South group only to get favorable policy, and that is why the profit margin was changed to 12% from 5%. Yeah.
All right, Munish Pandey breaking the story first on India Today joins us with all the latest details. We're slipping into a break, but when we'll come back to our show in the club, which is our entertainment show in moments from now. But Munish Pandey still continues to remain with us, and we're going to get some reactions in moments from now. But Munish continues to be with us. Munish, if you could expand a little further on this entire web that you were talking about to piece the puzzle together for our viewers. Ramanand Rao, the Bharatiya Janata Party leader, is joining us on the phone line. Your first up reaction, Mr. Rao, on Kavitha being summoned by the Enforcement Directorate on the expected lines?
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Rao, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI, which is investigating the liquor scam issue, on those concerns and against whom there is a prima facie evidence, they are being summoned and action is being taken against them in a judicial manner. They are being sent to a judicial demand. And as far as South Group is concerned, the arrest of Arun Pillai, who is very close head of Mrs. Kavitha, shows that the involvement of Kavitha is also there, and there is sufficient evidence. It appears that it is there against her also. Whatever it may be, the ED and CBI, they both are investigating agencies. The liquor scam wherein the South Group is involved and many people's name have been filmed in it, and there is sufficient evidence. So law should take its own course of action. So they may deny their involvement, but the destroying of the cell phones, the laptop, and the documentary evidence and the confession statement of many other co-accused shows that the involvement of Srimati Kavitha and her henchmen and her chartered accountant and her close
At this point, would you like her father, Kavitha's father, K Chandrasekhar Rao, to clarify the party's stance on this issue, or her role for that matter, in the alleged scam?
Them to clarify their role in it and to prove their innocence, but I don't think they have any evidence with them to prove their innocence, because all the evidence is against them. So therefore, to dilute this issue, they have written a joint letter with Aam Aadmi Party, the Honorable Prime Minister, that the ED and CBI is being misused, but that is not so. Though CBI and the ED are the independent investigating agencies, and they are doing it, instead of cooperating with them, they are trying to blame them as a political, they are politicizing the entire issue. KCR, Mr. KCR is, is an honorable Chief Minister of Telangana, is in a responsible position. But his own daughter is involved in such matters. He should cooperate with law investigating agencies instead of politicizing it and writing a letter which is misleading and with malafide intention to the Honorable Prime Minister.
What is your stance as the Bharatiya Janata Party at this point? Because there have been lots of allegations by opposition parties saying that it's the BJP who is strong-arming the investigating agencies.
We are not the spokesperson of the CBI or ED. ED and CBI are investigating agencies. Independently, they are doing it. But as a political party, opposition political party in Telangana, definitely we want action to be taken against all those who have been involved in this scam, wherein hundreds of crores of rupees have changed and many people have been benefited illegally. There is a money laundering in this aspect. So law should take its own course of action, and BJP demands those who are involved in it, action should be taken against them, and law should take its own course of action.
In this particular case, as far as the South Cartel is concerned, would the BJP like to comment on it?
There is a South Group where many manufacturers of liquor, the distributors of liquor companies have been benefited with the change of the liquor policy. And one thing is that all the South Group, they are all connected with the KCR's family, with the Kavitha. So therefore, it is an involvement by the KCR party, BRS party, and their people in the entire scam, and they are responsible for even involving others also in this particular scam. So I think this scam, South Group and Aam Aadmi Party, both are in nexus with each other in this major liquor.
And would you like to make a comment about Manish Sisodia as well? Because you've got Kavitha and three others. YSR Congress Party MP Magunta, Raghav Magunta, Sharath Reddy, who form what the ED sources have been saying, South Group accused of paying through proxies 100 crore rupees to Vijay Nair, the Aam Aadmi Party communication head, and the alleged proxy for Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia.
Definitely, because the entire case started with Atul Arora's confession statement, wherein the pointers were there towards Manish Sisodia's involvement. And even the CBI, ED, it doesn't matter whether anything has been seized or taken out, found in the residence of the Manish Sisodia. But involvement of Manish Sisodia is through the confession of the other accused persons in the entire case. Atul Arora's confession and other persons' confession and the documentary evidence also show that involvement of Manish Sisodia is there. There is enough prima facie evidence against him, so therefore he has been arrested. And the law, we must appreciate that law enforcement agencies have taken action, however big a man, however big a person may be. But once he is doing mistake and once he has broken the law will take its own course of action. That's what we believe. So therefore, Manish Sisodia's arrest is a process, is a matter and a process of law.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Rao, for taking the time out this morning. Wishing you a very happy Holi. We're getting some breaking news coming in, cutting straight across to it. K Kavitha is going to be confronted with Arun Ramachandran Pillai, who was arrested by ED day before yesterday. Pillai was allegedly used as a front by K Kavitha. The breaking news coming in is that the daughter of Telangana Chief Minister being summoned by Enforcement Directorate to appear before them 10th of March in excise policy scam case. Abdul Bashir is now joining us. Abdul, what are you picking up as far as the face-to-face grilling is concerned of Arun Ramachandran Pillai and K Kavitha?
As far as the Delhi liquor scam is concerned and K Kavitha's involvement, she's alleged of providing bags to the southern team in which Arun Ramachandra Pillai and Buchi Babu, her former CA, and the other are involved in providing kickbacks to the accused involved in the Delhi liquor policy. So after these allegations, she was summoned by the ED and then interrogation was done. So investigation is going on, and now, as of now, she has received summons from the agency regarding the same issue. Yes.
So Abdul Bashir continues to remain on the phone line with us. Abdul, it's an interesting development that is coming to the fore on K Kavitha being confronted with Arun Ramachandran Pillai, who was also arrested by ED a day before yesterday. Do we have Munish Pandey with us? All right, Munish is joining us live. Munish is the one who's on top of this story. He has been speaking to the ED sources and getting us up to speed with the latest developments. First, let's begin, Munish, by speaking about Kavitha's confrontation with Arun Ramachandran Pillai. In fact, he was arrested by the ED day before yesterday as well. What is the ED trying to do here? Putting them face to face to piece the pieces of the puzzle together?
Chaiti, on December 11 last year, there was a statement of Arun Ramachandran Pillai recorded by the Enforcement Directorate. For the first time on December 11 last year, Arun Ramachandran Pillai disclosed this before the Enforcement Directorate that he is a very close friend of K Kavitha, and on behest of K Kavitha, he was involved in the business. Apart from that, he also disclosed the fact that the bribe of ₹100 crore is something which K Kavitha was aware of, and K Kavitha wanted to recover this 100 crore rupees of advance kickback which was paid to Vijay Nair, and there was a meeting regarding this. So all these facts were with the Enforcement Directorate. Later there was a WhatsApp chat based on which the ED decided to arrest Arun Ramachandran Pillai. Now I spoke to several officials of the Enforcement Directorate. What they are claiming that K Kavitha, because Arun Ramachandran Pillai has taken K Kavitha's name, it becomes extremely important to know that whether Arun Ramachandran Pillai is speaking the truth or not. And that is why they have called K Kavitha. Make sure face to face when both are brought in, that is Arun Ramachandran Pillai and K Kavitha, then it can be established that whether K Kavitha was involved or not. And if during the confrontation...
All right, breaking news coming in India today is Excise Arun Pillai's Enforcement Directorate statement. That's the breaking news coming in. Munish, if you could bring us up to speed. We're in possession of the statement at the moment, and you were telling us already about what the statement consists of. If you could re-encapsulate that, since the breaking news is coming in now. Munish?
During the questioning which the Enforcement Directorate was able to get from Arun Ramachandran Pillai, the first part was about the ₹100 crore bribe. What in his statement he has told the Enforcement Directorate that K Kavitha is someone who was not only involved in the payment of ₹100 crore bribe, but also K Kavitha wanted to recover that ₹100 crore of kickbacks which were paid in advance for getting a favorable liquor excise policy, and that is why there was a meeting. So this becomes important because K Kavitha had a connection with Arun Ramachandran Pillai, and there was a bribe of ₹100 crore paid, and K Kavitha is involved. So this becomes important as far as ED and Arun Ramachandran Pillai is concerned. Second part is he has told the Enforcement Directorate that he was used as a front by K Kavitha. So on behest of K Kavitha, allegedly Arun Pillai was doing business under the new excise policy brought in by the Aam Aadmi Party. And third important point is that he has already disclosed before the Enforcement Director that he is very close friend of K Kavitha. So all these facts were with ED since December 11 last year. This statement was recorded on December 11 last year, and now what ED is planning is that after arresting Arun Ramachandran Pillai, what they claim that because they want to know whether Arun Ramachandran Pillai is speaking truth or not, they want to bring in and make sure that both K Kavitha and Arun Ramachandran Pillai are sitting face to face. And Chaiti, this becomes extremely important because if ED is in a position to establish the fact that K Kavitha was indeed aware of this bribery and Arun Pillai was used as a front, then it is not a good news for K Kavitha, because then trouble seems to be mounting for K Kavitha, and maybe based on evidence ED may take any strict action against her. Chaiti.
Munish, K Kavitha's stance on this repeatedly has been quite clear. She's been denying all the allegations, obviously, and saying that irrespective of how many times the lie is repeated, it still does not become the truth, and the truth will end up prevailing. So in this particular cross-questioning, the ED will try to really sniff out what the truth is and whether the stories match or not.
Yeah, of course, and this is for the first time, Chaiti, that K Kavitha has been called in for questioning. But remember, her name was mentioned in the ED charge sheet, and it was not in a very good light. ED claimed in the charge sheet that apart from the South Group being aware of what is happening in the excise policy, paying the bribe of ₹100 crore, K Kavitha was someone that she was changing her phone, she was destroying her phone, and this fact was mentioned in the charge sheet. So as far as ED is concerned, they have already implicated K Kavitha in their charge sheet. As far as the allegations are concerned, there have been political allegations against her. This is of course true that K Kavitha has been denying the allegations against her time and again, but both the agencies, be it Central Bureau of Investigation or the Enforcement Directorate, both are claiming that they have arrested certain people who were extremely close to K Kavitha, and there are certain people who have taken name of K Kavitha of her involvement in the excise policy scam, and that is why her questioning becomes extremely important. Whether there will be any strict action by the Enforcement Directorate tomorrow or not, it is not sure, but we have been going to understand is that this is for the first time that K Kavitha will appear before the ED. It is only regarding Arun Ramachandran Pillai and the confrontation.
You know, there are many parts to this story, Munish, and it's a complex play of bribes and cartelization as well. If you could simplify for our viewers, because time and again Kavitha says that, look, you know, this BJP government sends ED to any state where elections are due.
That is true, and this case so far has a very far-reaching political implications. There are 3 states in which the investigation is going on. One is Delhi, of course the scam happened here, allegedly. The second state is Telangana, and third state is Punjab. Now, to simplify the story, there was already an excise policy. Excise policy means that a policy under which you are allowed to sell liquor in the national capital. So this policy was changed, tweaked by the Aam Aadmi Party, and the allegation was that the profit margin, which was 5% in the old policy, that 5% margin to any liquor businessman was increased to 12%. That is an increase of 7% of margin. Now this margin, according to the Enforcement Directorate and Central Bureau of Investigation and all these FIRs and complaints, it was changed only to make sure that the liquor businessman can generate huge amount of profit. And the gap of this 7%, there was an understanding allegedly between the liquor businessman and the leaders of Aam Aadmi Party that they will...
Sorry about the interruption, Munish. I'm coming back to you on this particular point. Just hold your thought right there. Tom Vadakan of the BJP is joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Vadakan, very good morning. Wishing you a very happy Holi. How do you respond to the ED heat now on K Kavitha? She's been summoned at the moment and she's going to be questioned along with Arun Pillai.
Well, that had to happen because the Pillai connection had established her links, and law will take its own course. She may be anybody's daughter, that doesn't matter. What is important is if they have caused losses to the exchequer, they need to be questioned, and that is happening. Well, in that process, whatever comes before the judicial eye, it will be examined judicially and a review would be taken. So I think it is the process of law which has taken place.
You know, that's a very interesting point you say, but then, you know, this case is also quite politicized heavily, Mr. Vadakan, because K Kavitha time and again keeps denying the allegations and says that the BJP is in the habit of going after the political party leaders wherever the elections are due. How do you respond to that?
Well, there are 2 angles to it. I mean, you saw the Chief Minister of Kerala saying that, well, political representatives should not be harassed. But does that mean you give them free blank check for conducting corruption, or dynasts to be allowed to do corrupt practices just because they happen to be dynasts or they happen to be political representatives? The law is equal for everybody. And the point is, if there's evidences which the investigative agencies have arrived at, yes, they need to do a lot of explanation, and it is right that they would be questioned. And finally, the decision is coming before the judiciary.
Correct.
What are they afraid of?
That is the important point. That is the important point, Mr. Vadakan. As you summed it up rightly, Mr. Vadakan does not believe in political bickering, but he says at the end of the day the courts will decide, and that's true.